Hi, welcome to our team call. For those that are new or catching this later, we are going to talk all things. We're just going to talk about a bunch of things. We're kind of agenda free tonight, but we have some intentionality. But I know we like to start with some recognition and just some wows for the week. So Andy, if you have any to add?
Sorry, distracted over here. I was messaging a few who said they were going to be on. Oh, you put me on the spot, and I forgot. Well, this was my idea. Can somebody else go first?
Uh-huh.
Well, I think that's what I want to shout out. Okay.
Brett, you're up.
So she's actually not on the call right now, but who I wanted to give a shout out to was Candace, because I've noticed that, because I know before she was really nervous about sharing about Beachbody, and she did a different MLM before. And so she and I have actually had a couple conversations about her starting to post more about her Beachbody journey. And I've noticed that she's, number one, posting a lot more frequently on social media. And I've seen her start posting about her workouts and all of that stuff, and her kids doing it. And so I wanted to give her a shout out just for kind of getting out of her comfort zone. So maybe she'll catch the recording.
Candace, way to go. She was on last week, so maybe
she was totally on last week. Yeah, so I totally,
totally.
She's probably just
well, I was gonna give Andrea Hilton, she's up here in my corner, I don't know if she's somewhere else, a shout out. She officially got business starter this week.
That's exciting.
Very exciting. And she hit Success Club for the first time, and I think will sign. I think we have a plan to get her Emerald here before the end of the month. So she will be, that's exciting as well. And if you become is it a team leader, you get a free ticket to Summit. Yeah, they changed that this year.
Is it a team leader within a certain amount of time?
I think it's within a year. If you become a team leader, but I don't know if you have to hold it. That's my only, I don't know that answer.
I think you have to be paid, well, not that you're paid team leader, but a team leader in 1 month in your first 12 months. I don't think you have to hold it.
Oh.
That was my interpretation, but I could look. Okay. I would love to give a shout out to Becky. Becky, in our Push 2020 group, I have seen you showing up every day, and I know that you are really stepping out of your comfort zone with your invites and really trying to focus in on what your invite method is going to be so that you can continue to be consistent with that. And I just want to say you're doing a really great job with it. And I also appreciate that you are showing up in there to help ask and answer other people's questions. It's been really helpful for the whole group. So thank you, Becky.
Thank you. It's been really hard, but I'm doing it.
The hard stuff is when the growing happens.
Yeah. And I'm doing good, so it's good. I've got a groove.
Can I give a shout out to Myra? It's her first team call, and she just signed up as a coach.
Yay, Myra! Hi, welcome.
I caught your live video yesterday in the coach training. Great job.
Oh, thank you.
Going live as much now as possible is always a good thing.
That was my first time.
Perfect. Perfect. It gets less awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Totally does.
I think you just start worrying about it less. You know, do it.
You do. You stop worrying. And I've noticed I never go back and listen. I've never listened to any one of my ever live videos, and I've literally gone live probably 500 times in my 3 years of coaching, and I just never go back because I find that it's very annoying. Like, I'm like, ew, why? I get so annoyed. Like, the minute my voice pops up, I'm like, oh gosh, why would I listen? Clearly, I should probably never listen because I would never go live again. I just avoid. And then I think my husband one time was like, I just feel like sometimes you feel like you talk like I don't even know that, like, that's not your voice. I'm like, whose voice is it? That's me. And he's like, well, you don't talk to me like that. I'm like, when do I just sit down and like preach at you for 50 minutes? I'm like, and if I do, it's probably not so loving. It's a little bit aggressive.
Yeah.
I was actually listening to, it's so funny. You know how like sometimes videos just pop up on your Facebook and you're like, where is it coming from? Like where's this video? And of course it's always Rachel Hollis because everyone and their mother is listening to her. And it's the same video that's been going around forever. The one, basically the one about like, girl, wash your face, like go read my book in essence. But I today noticed something and I didn't ever notice it before, but she said, sometimes we have to live in the uncomfortable. Like we have to we can't be in this mindset that we have to fix it. Or like why isn't this easier? Okay, I'm just going to quit. We just have to be okay in the uncomfortable. And it was really, I don't know, it just like was very helpful for me in my life at this moment in time. And I just thought, isn't it funny how you've listened to the same video over and over, but you always catch something different? And I think that that's like when we grow is when we're in that uncomfortable land and we can't like get out. We can't even see the out. We don't even know what we're supposed to do. And yet somehow it all kind of comes together. So just thought I would share that little bit that I heard.
Yeah, I would say that even reminds me of, because I haven't read Girl Wash Your Face yet. I'm going to start reading it when we start reading it next week with the 80 Days Obsession group. And then we're also going to start reading it with, we're encouraging everyone in our multi-program group to read it as well. And, but something that, so one of my best friends is also my boss. And when we were talking a couple weeks ago, because I feel like I'm just scrambling a lot at work because there's so much to learn and like people need stuff so quickly and I'm always scrambling. And she says that too. She's like, just embrace the scramble. Like, it's fine. Or just embrace the uncomfortable. Like that's when just, at some point it will stop. Like you'll get used to this or you'll like grow enough to where this is normal. And then you can move on to the next phase of whatever that looks like, but just embrace it,
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think it's just so uncomfortable. So you just want to be like, okay, what do I got to do? Okay, I'll just quit or I'll stop doing this or, just like your fitness journey, like it's the very first thing to go. You're just like, okay, well, working out is causing me, I have to get up earlier. So you cut that when in actuality, it's the one thing you really should continue doing because it's going to be the one thing that helps you get through whatever it is that you're trying to get through. Right. Actually, side note here, we're putting together, and actually next week we are going to be sharing. We're going to be doing what do we want to call it, gals?
It's like an express boot camp, but it's not. It's like a seminar.
Like if you find a coach and they want to go through the 30 days of coach mentorship, but they're like ready to go and they want to know all the things immediately, we're going to have a training that's going to be that. So like it will cover everything you would ever need to know about signing coaches, hitting Success Club, what they can earn, what they, all the potentials, all the little details. So that way a coach, because like I use myself as an example, when I started, I was just kind of like, okay, well, I'm just going to run a challenge group. And I never ran a challenge group with Andy ever. And I was just like, I'm just going to run, you just tell me what I need to do, or like, how do I sign somebody up? And that was pretty much how I rolled. So we're going to create a training that is like a fast track, but we're going to do it during this time slot next week so that we can have you guys ask questions, because I think that it will be really helpful to form the training. You know what I mean? Yes? No?
It'll be like a fast track. Is that a good word for it? Is that what were you?
Yeah. Fast track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like,
So next week on our team call, we'll be going over.
We're gonna basically practice. We're gonna film it with all of you. We'll have you muted, but you can type in questions, and we're gonna cover everything. It'll be an hour because that's about how long it'll probably take us. And we're just gonna cover everything, and then hopes like leave some question and answers. So if we missed anything, then we all have this recording to then send to a coach that's like, I want to know right away.
So if we have a new coach, should she be on that call, or should she just watch? Okay.
Yeah, they could totally be on it. Absolutely. But either way, I found this, what I thought was really neat was, I kind of was listening to Ashley Molstead and Emily Favre about how they do this training, because I would say most coaches, and I know Brittany, you and I had one in the beginning, probably just needs to be revamped. But anyway, there was this one of the things that I found was your fitness journey versus your business journey, and the parallels of all of it. And basically some of the parallels are, it doesn't happen overnight. And that is the same for everything. It's not a quick fix, right? You have to track it to see results. So like, I feel like for those that you don't know, that we're running this push group, and if it's, we're 11 days in, and it's really interesting, I'm terrible at recognition and I'm terrible at doing personal development. So like, I know that because it's on a piece of paper that I fill out every day, but I didn't notice until I like, wow, we're here again. Oh, we're still missing that page. Oh, we're still missing that item. So the same with your fitness journey. Like if you never, and not necessarily this scale, but like your weights, your inches, your pictures, all of that, that's you have to track to see results. The other one is success is twofold, fitness and nutrition. And for your business, success is twofold, public and private. So like you have to be doing the programs to what they are. You're never going to get the results if you're just in private doing all the things that don't work, but then in public, you're this other person. As soon as you stop, this is for your fitness journey. As soon as you stop, the results get farther away. Same with your business journey. As soon as you stop, as soon as you take that break, as soon as you stop posting on social media, you lose the consistency, and you lose the person who says, see, they failed too. People want, this is terrible. And I say this all the time. People want you to fail because they want to see that it's okay that they don't join you on your fitness journey because you failed too. They like wait for it. Like, I swear they're like, yes, I'm okay. I'm clear because she didn't do it. So when you commit to something out loud, the same goes with our business journey. I can't tell you how many times it's like you get the person who's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're inviting me to this. And I'm like, I swear I invited you in every post I've ever written, but it's okay. It's okay. Yes, here's my link. And they're like, okay, great. And you're just, why is this surprising? Comparison is the thief of all joy. Fitness journey, business journey, exact same thing. And then last thing is don't overcomplicate it. And I feel like that's like the premise of our business journey and our fitness journey. The program is created. The meal plans are created. We have a guidebook. Here's how we do it. And so I just thought that was kind of a really neat comparison in your fitness and your business, because they basically are the same thing. And I think that at the end of the day, your business journey is all about you. You started this for you and to get healthy and be the best version of yourself. And so if we don't keep doing that, we've kind of lost the focus of what it is that we're trying to do. So I just encourage you to, when you're down in the dumps, and I can't tell you how many coaches, they're like, yeah, I just don't know the business. And I'm like, well, I haven't seen you in a challenge group in weeks. Like, are you still working out? Are you still taking care of yourself? Because at the end of the day, if you're not, then this isn't working for you. You're 100% right. So, check out your comparison of your fitness and your business and see where the inconsistencies are. And I bet you will find some things to work with. So,
and to add to that a little bit, I think that there's so many parallels that you just drew, but also the fact that, like you said, if you have, you talk to coaches all the time who are feeling like they're just not getting the business or whatever. Really, if you just keep it simple and you are doing the fitness things, then the business doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be this huge, insurmountable mountain you have to climb. What I'm picking up from people who have been in this network for 9 years, like Meg, who was on the National Wake Up Call, to people who have been in this network for 9 months, is that they are on their journey and they're living it out loud and they're sharing it consistently in very different ways. If you all know what I'm talking about, when we're talking about inviting, they're doing it. They're running their business in very different ways, but what is the same is the fact that they are living their fitness journey out loud and sharing it consistently every day. So there's not just one way to do this. So if you're feeling like it's complicated or it's overwhelming or it's hard, in some ways it is all of those things, but just take a breath and take a step back and first ask yourself, am I doing the fundamentals, the fitness. Am I pressing play every day and drinking my shake and following the program that is very laid out for us? Because if you're doing that, the rest of it can work itself out. And that's what we are here to help support you do. But I think a lot of times, and what I'm seeing in this push group is sometimes I feel like we completely overcomplicate it. And I am just as guilty of that as well. So
yeah, and even just along that line, you don't have to, like when Andy said that everyone's doing it in different ways, that kind of sparked me. Like, you don't have to sound like anyone else. I think sometimes we can get caught up in thinking that we have to sound like one of the top coaches, because obviously their words mean something. Like, they word it a certain way, so it impacts people a certain way. And I think the best thing that you can do is just sound like yourself, so that you can actually connect with people who connect with you. Because if you are copying other people's posts, or you're overthinking it too much, so to the point where you end up like looking at your phone, typing and retyping, and then end up posting nothing, and just getting really frustrated, you're not actually reaching the right people. I mean, obviously, if you're not posting anything, you're not reaching anyone. But if someone joins you because they think that they connect with you because you sound like someone else, and then they actually get into your groups and you form a relationship with them, it's going to be a lot harder, because it's not actually, they didn't sign up with the person they thought they signed up with. You have something that only you can bring. You have your own unique scenario, like set of life circumstances. You have your own sense of humor, your own likes and dislikes. And the more that you share that and speak from that and speak to your own previous experience and the struggles that you've overcome, the more that you are going to be able to reach women who are so similar to you, who are either struggling with the same things or have the same interests, or are also addicted to collecting coffee mugs, or love the same Hallmark cheesy Christmas movies, or all of these things. And how much more fun is it to encourage women and support them? One, when you actually feel like you understand their struggle a little bit more because you've been through it. But then two, when you feel like you've just met like a soul sister, like someone that you feel like you have so much in common with. And the best way to do that, and then also one more thing on that, is not only is it fun to have them in your groups, but then when you have them on your team, you can actually build a team of women who are just like-minded, who connect really well together, who feel like they've known each other for so long, even though we're all across the country and haven't met in person yet. And the best way to do that is to just sound like you. Whether if, you feel like other people write really long posts and you're not that person. And if you're not a person who reads long posts, don't be a person who posts long posts. Like, try to relate to whoever you are, whatever attracted you to this business, whatever attracted you to the challenge group, be posting about that. And so, in terms of just, that's what it made me think of when Andy said that all these top coaches, whether they've been doing it 9 months or 9 years, and they're all approaching it differently, that's the same for you. You can approach this business how you want to and sound like you in the process. Should we talk about Instagram?
Sorry. I was just talking, but I muted. I'm just over here chit-chatting by myself. Yeah. We should talk about what we came to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like we don't really have, in essence, none of us are Instagram pros. Maybe Anna. She might be. Anna and Maggie is Instagram, rocking. But I feel like it's just changed so much over I would say even the last 3 months. And I think it's really hard because we hear one thing and then we hear another and we're like, wait, what do we do? Even as simple as do I put the hashtags in the comments or do I push them in the post? So frustrating because it's just I don't know that any of us really know. And unless Instagram wrote us an email and told us, that would be really the only reason we would know. But Andy signed up for a training or a service, basically. I actually also did yesterday. And so they send her a lot of tips. I'm going to let her handle what because I haven't actually seen those tips. But the one thing that, a couple things, they want to see, Instagram is one of the things you don't have to worry about posting more than, if you really only posted one quality post a day, you would be doing a good thing for Instagram. They don't work off of algorithms. They work off of
engagement.
engagement. So you're more looking for people to engage with your Instagram, and then ensuring that you have some sort of storefront that people are attracted to, etc. The place that you really want to build is in your IG stories, where you are inviting and doing all the things and gaining followers that way. So that's one of the things that I feel like I kind of learned over the course of, it's hard because I'm like a 3 poster. It's like hard to get out of your brain. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Fun? Oh my gosh, I haven't posted. And I'm like, wait, Instagram doesn't care, but it's still like totally weird. So use Instagram stories as a place to be as real as possible and let people in on your life. Because when they see like maybe you're someone who's busy all the time and you're always everywhere, but then all of a sudden you're like inviting them to something, they're like, wow, if she can do like all that and she can do this, like I can do all that and this, like, or you know, terrible example because most people actually are turned off by that, but you get what I'm saying. So finding your rhythm in your IG stories is, I think, more of an importance than really your Instagram itself. And instead making Instagram really just a top-notch place where people are constantly not guessing what it is that you're doing. Wouldn't you agree is kind of the information you're getting? And then the other thing is to switch up your hashtags. So we had this assignment in our push group this week, but to create, like I said, 3 as an assignment, but I think even more than that. Like I think if you could have like 4 or 5 or even, 5 sets of different 30 hashtags that you save in your keyboards that you can quickly just throw in underneath your post, that's going to give you way more engagement because you're going to now be reaching a pile of different people. So I would highly recommend taking the time to create those lists and add them to your keyboards, because my gosh, that has been like the biggest lifesaver. Anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have it all now. Like every link, every like the coach change form, like it's all in there because I'm just like, this is so fast. So fast. Sorry. Really excited on my keyboard.
I have a question for you, Kim, actually. And for everybody, not just Kim. How often do you put hashtags and or location on a story? And do you use the hashtag thing, or do you put it like as if you could type a comment, or not a comment, but you know what I'm saying? Like you wanted to put words on it. And then do you hide it or do you leave it visible? I want to hear how people are doing that and if you're finding success one way or another with it.
So I think hide it. Instagram doesn't show it up in that feed, I've noticed.
Okay. So hiding it is a waste of time.
Invisible. I don't know if that's a new thing, but because I used to hide them and I used to get like X amount per hashtag, and now if I hide them, nothing shows up on the like thing on the bottom.
I thought I read that using their hashtag, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Using their little, sorry, I was going to just try to show you, but actually using their thing, the hashtag thing up at the top, I heard they like that. And the location and the mention. So I don't hide them anymore because I feel like I used to do 10. Because you could do 10, but then I stopped doing that because I felt like my engagement went way down.
Okay.
The other thing that does get people to look at your stories is, or that it shows up, is if you use the like the stickers, they're pre-made stickers, like Monday, Sunday, yay, yes, those things. Those show up. Like people will, like I will get hundreds of people watching one story
because of the stinking sticker.
Off of the sticker.
Never knew.
Got it. How do we know what stickers are cool?
Well, no, it's their pre-made ones. So when you choose like a gift, like I do gifts on mine like a lot, but those don't really. I mean, sometimes if they're really popular, you'll get more views from them. But otherwise, they're pre-made ones that are the like basic list. Those ones when you first click on it, those ones get a lot of views.
Got it. That's good to know. I didn't know that they like the stickers. What I want to know is who sits around and decides who likes things. I want to go to their house.
Okay, I
Probably
would
just
love
look
to
at
share.
analytics. They probably don't decide. They just look at analytics.
All right, I would love to share what I've been learning. So as Kim mentioned, I'm paying for this service. Right now, for me, time is money because I have zero time. And I've been saying for probably about 9 months now that I'm going to grow my Instagram, and I've grown by like 10 followers. So I'm just being honest. So this is something that is there for all of you. It's $90 a month. I'm testing it out. I didn't put it out to the team page yet because I felt like rather than saying, hey, go spend $90, I should probably see if it's working. What I can say is it'll be 2 weeks tomorrow. My following has gone up by 600. And they're not all perfect spot on my niche market. I hate that word. But the people who are responding are pretty good. What they will also do for you is they will send 30 messages a day, and the message is whatever you tell them to say. So I've played around with that a bit. I've actually crafted it into a direct invite to coaching. So people who they follow for me that are in my niche market that follow me back a few days later, if they look like the right person, this other person behind the scenes is sending 30 invites for me. So for me, that's worth it. I cannot say that I have signed anybody from that yet, but Shayna on our team has. It's working for her, and she has a coach who found it, and it's working for her. So I'm just throwing that out there as an option. It's called 21 Social. If you are interested in that, let me know, and I can send you a code to get a discount.
Whoa. Before I also have a code.
Kim has a code as well. That's not why I said that, but you're funny.
So dramatic.
I have a question.
That's Kim's code.
I'll just post that Venmo. It's fine.
Kim will post her code in the team pages.
Hey, Andy. I just signed up for it, and I'm in the process of, they messaged me today and said they're going to get back to me tomorrow morning. Is that when I give them all that information?
Yes, they'll walk you through it.
Okay. They've already gone on my Instagram and all that.
I don't know what they've done yet, but they'll walk. They like answer these questions for us. They'll tell you, email to email. So again, if you're interested, let us know. The point wasn't for me to try to get you guys to sign up for this, so I apologize, or steal Kim's promo code. The point is, it's been really helpful that they also are sending me emails with Instagram tips. So like Kim was mentioning, where I was getting my Instagram tips to date was from Jen Richardson, who's a very successful coach who kills it on Instagram. And so some of the stuff we've heard from this 21 Social company is conflicting from what Miss Jen Richardson does. My take on it, this company's job is to help people build their Instagram. So I'm hoping that they are really doing the research and analytics and know. So they suggest 30 hashtags in the comments. Now, if you put hashtags in your wording, that's going to count towards your 30. So then if you go and try to post 30 in the comments, it will not let you. So just know that if you're somebody who talks in hashtags. Also,
why that's so funny.
Why?
Because I imagine saying that to my mom and dad, like, if you're someone who talks in hashtag, and they would be like, where wrong with this generation. Sorry, clearly over here having just jokes on me tonight. I don't get out much.
Just being a stand-up comedian over there.
I'm actually on my way to Andy's house to get my money.
She just gets in her car right now.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, off topic. So I totally lost my train of thought. Hashtags. Okay.
In the comments.
They definitely have hammered home quality posts. Like Kim was saying. It's funny because Kim was like, I don't like that. Because she's in her groove with 3 a day. I like it because I'm like, sweet, I can do one. But the other thing is, it's so much more about aesthetics, as we know, when you're talking your feed. So using the same filter. And these are things that we've talked about before, but I'm just bringing them up again because 21 Social keeps reminding me. Use the same filter in all your photos. Get in a groove with it. What I did to try to find a filter I liked was I went to pages that my eye is drawn to where I go, oh, I wish my page looked like that. And I'm like, oh, well, let me try to find that filter and do that. And there's all the apps out there in the world that you can use to do that, make it super simple. So use the same filter every single time. What was I going to say? Oh, like Kim was saying with engagement. So there's a lot of people on Instagram right now suggesting that the more you engage in other people's pages, that's going to get people to follow you. So if you're not paying for a service like I am, then you definitely need to be engaging on other people's pages. As you follow people, I've heard the 5-3-1 rule. Like 5 of their posts, comment on 3, things like that. Now, I'm talking about 2 different things here, because if you listen to the National Wake Up Call, you might be saying, well, whoa, just so you can get to the invite. Not necessarily. You also need to be engaging on people's pages so that your engagement goes up. So are you guys following me with that? There's a 5-3-1 rule where you're basically trying to comment and like and form a relationship to invite, but you can also use the 5-3-1 rule just to get your engagement up so people are engaging more on your post. You should comment back when somebody comments within 45 minutes to an hour. That will put your post higher in the Explore page if you make it. I also paid $50 for a set of hashtags that are specific to me, and I will totally share them into the team page. So not all of them are going to be specific to you, but I want to show it to you guys so you can totally use them. And what was really interesting is they put them in tiers, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and they basically said until you get so many likes on your post consistently, you need to stay in tier 1. And tier 1 are hashtags that don't have a lot of posts. They didn't say exactly how many, and I should probably just go look. So let's just say only 10,000 posts for that hashtag maybe. So it's a lower hashtag because for me, I'm low on the totem pole here, building, right? And then as your likes per photo start going up, then you can move up in the hashtags that are more common, more popular. So for example, boy mom, like basically if I use boy mom, nobody's going to see my stuff ever because there's millions. But if I used a more specific boy mom of 3 or whatever, that is more of a tier 1 hashtag. So I will share those so you guys can see. And I think that might help you guys find hashtags in your niche market even easier to kind of pinpoint those things or give you ideas on where to look, because we keep saying find hashtags, find hashtags. This whole list hopefully will help. And feel free to take whichever ones do fit you and use them, because why not? I think that would be awesome. And hopefully in this whole idea of creating 3 lists of 30 hashtags, hopefully that will cut down the work for you guys on doing that. If there's some of these that work for you or some that spark something that will help you find ones that fit for you. Are there any questions about all of that hashtag talk? Anything? No? Okay. Are there any?
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you save them in your keyboard?
So if you go to your settings on your phone and you go to general and then you go to keyboard, then you go to text replacement. I just want to show you, but I never can. No. Anyway, then you can add all of them. So you can you can just I have invites in here. I have our sneak peek in here. I have 5 sets of hashtags. I have coach change form, so you can just put all the things that you need. Because you know what I found that I was doing? Someone would be like, hey, send me that link so I can check it out, and I would literally go to get the link and squirrel, and I would send them nothing. So I just need to be somewhere that's like a quick guide. You know what I mean?
I also just share them, Candace, I also share them in or save them in the notes section in my phone. So because I have a Mac and an iPhone, I can connect the notes to both. So if I'm typing on my phone, I can also get the notes on my laptop. So it's really easy. So what I did was I just am getting into the hashtag game like last week. So I just typed the hashtags into the notes section in my phone. And then I just copied them from there into the my Instagram posts. So that's what I do. So it's not exactly what Kim's explaining, but that's another option for you.
Any other questions? I'm actually pulling up my email from them right now so I can let you know anything else that we didn't talk about yet.
Anybody else have anything else while we're in our dead space here? No.
I've had really good success using Captivate and Cleaner. Before I started using them, I had like 325 followers. I'm at 648 today, and it's been like 2 weeks. So I still highly recommend them. I use it every day. I honestly will just go through, I'll find it's not super user friendly, but what I do is I find like a doctor or a PA or someone that is related to what I like and what I'm interested in. I go to their profile and I either look that follow them or who have liked their post, and I follow them. I only click on females just for being able to invite them or whatever. And then I try and make sure that they look like a real profile. And I follow about 200 a day, which sounds crazy, but I have the cloud version. So I literally pick them all at one time. It takes maybe 2 minutes. And then the app does it for me. And it does a few every minute or something.
You do just the night mode, Maggie?
I upgraded to the cloud version rather than the night mode. Although to be perfectly honest, I probably could have gotten away with just the night mode. Because typically it's the last thing I do before I go to bed. I'm like, oh crap, gotta follow. And I just go through and then leave it.
And for those of you that don't know so Captivate, just a real quick, just to break it down. But Captivate is, so it's going to just find followers for you and follow the people that you want to follow. So you may get a lot of people that are not really your people, but your engagement is going up. And then Cleaner is just going to clean out the people who are duds or whatever, because you obviously want to make sure that your followers versus your following, you want to have more people following you than you're following. That's you want to make sure of that. So, sorry, continue. Because I was curious how you were, I feel like you've gotten in a good groove of it. I just do the night mode and I need to do the Cleaner. I just haven't had a chance, but yeah.
So how does the Cleaner part work? How does it clean out? What do you do?
So there's a couple different ways that it works, but what I do is just sort of I try very, not structured at all. I don't keep a list of the 200 people I'm following every day or anything like that. I just try and remember one person and the group around them. So I follow about 200 a day. I try and unfollow about 100 to 150 a day. So I give them 3 to 4 days. They'll be in my newsfeed. I'll on their posts. I'll comment on them. And if they, within 3 or 4 days, have not followed me back, then I unfollow them. Unless it's someone whose page I really, really like. If after 3 or 4 days of me engaging on their posts, they're not following me back, the likelihood of them deciding to is a little bit less likely. So that's how I do it.
So Maggie, does the app track like if they like who's following you and following you back, or do you manually like make and like go back and be like, oh, have they followed me yet?
No, so it tracks it for you. I'll see if I can like actually show you.
And it'll show you all of the people you're following, and it'll be green if they are mutually following you back, or it'll be like yellowy orange if they're not. So then you can kind of just when I was using Cleaner, I would just click all the people who weren't following you back, and then you hit a button and it unfollows them.
Yeah,
it's way faster than doing it manually through Instagram. Is really the whole point of Cleaner. So Cleaner is a separate app than Captivate, just to be clear. And
same owner.
Is Captivate free?
No. I mean, so they
40
to download it
40 cents a month.
It's 40 cents a month.
$3 and like the cheap version is.
The cheap version is $5 for a year of access. So you can use it, like you can get, they call it like 50 actions for free, which to be perfectly honest is about nothing when you really get in the groove of using it. But for an entire year, it's $5 if you want to essentially just run it in night mode, meaning you still it has to be open and showing on your thing, and they have a night mode so that it like blacks it out or makes it darker, but you still have to have the app actually open. For an additional like $10, then you can upgrade to cloud mode. So it like you essentially create like a cloud queue, and it will just like do it in the background, and you don't have to have the app open at all.
Got it. So just to kind of summarize everything we're talking about, if you are looking to grow your Instagram, which you should be growing your Instagram, there's a few different ways you can do it. You can do it for free, and you can follow people who are in your niche market by searching hashtags and just commit and be consistent with following however many people a day you feel like is good to grow your business, whether that's following 20 new people a day or 50 new people a day, whatever. You can do it on your own. Or you can use one of these apps. Captivate sounds like it's the cheapest option, and they are adding to your following for you. But then the Cleaner part is the other side of things, because if you're adding to your network, adding to your followers, like Kim was saying, you don't want to be out of balance. You don't want to be following more people than are following you back. So you're going to have to spend time to unfollow. So if you're using your self-made method of following people or Captivate, I would recommend downloading Cleaner. It's free, and it will just be a faster way to unfollow people who are not following you back. Would Kim and Britt, would you agree with that, Maggie? All you Instagram people? Okay.
Yeah.
If you wanted to take
Cleaner
it,
is not free though.
What's that?
Cleaner is not free. You get 50 unfollows. I mean, so to download the app, it's free. There's not like an upfront thing, and they give you 50 free actions, so like 50 free unfollows. After that, Cleaner is cheaper than Captivate. So Cleaner, I think, is like $2 or $3 for night mode, and then an additional like $5 for the cloud mode. So Cleaner's a lot cheaper, Cleaner's a little bit cheaper than Captivate. So if you wanted to like just pick one, I would go with Cleaner.
I did not realize that. I didn't think I paid anything for it. Or maybe I was just doing 50 a day, is it? Or just 50 for either?
I'm not sure. I thought it was 50 total. It might be 50 a day. Honestly, I paid for the like full version the first day I downloaded it.
Okay. And then obviously what we were talking about before, you can outsource and basically have somebody else be doing it for you. So Those are options. I mean, maybe you're somebody who likes to search hashtags and look for people to follow. For me, for the last 9 months, for whatever reason, I'll invite people all day long. I will send messages to people all day long. I could not stand going through and trying to find people to follow. I don't know why. I'm just saying it was just my thing. I was never consistent with it, did not like doing it. So, and you know, everybody has their thing that they'd rather pay somebody to do. I guess.
Kind of like a cleaning lady, you know?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Just like a cleaning.
Which I don't have, but you know, would be nice.
I need one of those too.
So we just kind of threw lots at you, but I think the point of the point of the story is this: if you feel like you've hit like your warm, like I feel like inviting sucks because you're inviting when you live in your warm market, you're inviting your friends and family and people you've known your whole life, and that feels icky sometimes. And I feel like it gets old, and it feels like I'm never going to grow. I'm tired of inviting my family and my friends. So I feel like if you really want this business to blossom into something, you will find your niche market in Instagram or you can also open a like page. I will say Facebook is much harder to become somebody. You're paying for ads. You're going to have to do the things to grow your Facebook page. Let's just put it that way. Unless you have a post go viral, according to Emily and Ashley. But if you're really looking to grow your business, then and be somebody and not be afraid to invite, then be that on Instagram. Let it be. You can just target who exactly you're looking for. Mom with multiple kids, or single in this, or going to school, or whatever you are, you get to be that. And so I think that it just allows you the freedom to really like take this business to the next level. So you have to, what we just threw at you, I feel like is the more of the mindset, like I want to grow and I want this business to grow. Not like, hey, yeah, I'm just really like working on my health and I'm sharing my journey. Then if that's the case, then just disregard everything we just said. You know what I mean? And keep doing you and keep taking care of your business or your health journey and sharing it as authentically as possible, Sorry.
I heard a really great quote today on a call that I was on about being invited to the party. This is not totally about growing your network, but it really resonated with me. So I wanted to share it with you guys because we've been talking about inviting till the cows come home, right? People want to be invited to the party. Think about it like that before you sit down to invite. How many of you would have actually said, hey, sign me up? How many of you would have actually answered a poll on an IG story? How many of you would have reached out to your coach and said, I need that? Probably not very many of us. I know I would not have done any of those things. But I would have wanted to be part of the party. I would have been the person, had I not been approached by my neighbor who is my coach, if I would have seen all of this going on social media, I would have wanted to be a part of it, and I would have not taken it upon myself to invite myself. I would have needed the personal invite to the party. So think about that. People are sitting there. They need that personal invite to join you, and they want it. You're not bugging people by doing it. And if you do come across somebody who you happen to bug, they're not your person. So who cares? They can go on being unhappy with whatever they're unhappy with, because the people who get annoyed by people like us who are just trying to save the world are just unhappy people. That's just my 2 cents.
Or they've just been hit up by 47,000 Beachbody coaches and Urban Fields and Monat and LuLaRoe.
Yeah.
Or them. I reached out to you, Andy. You didn't invite me.
That's not true. You were the first person I called and said you should do this. It was a year later that you accepted my invitation to the party.
Oh, she stopped inviting me, people.
It was a pending invite. Andy invited me multiple times.
Wow.
I like to invite. I don't like to follow people.
You don't want to chase them. Actually, I don't know where I read that today, but it was like, never stop inviting someone until they literally tell you, I don't want to come. Like, I don't want to be, like, please don't bother me anymore. Because the likelihood of, if they're still watching your stuff and they're still like liking on your things, the likelihood of it's just the timing for them in their life. It has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with the program, nothing to do with anything. All it has to do with is the timing. And so never stop inviting them, because they will be the one person that eventually says yes, and you will probably change their life. And I just thought that was so awesome. You know?
True story.
Are there any other final like Instagram questions or comments or things to share? I'm sure we'll have many more calls on Instagram. One more thing I wanted to share before we hop off is I wanted to talk just a second about transformation photos. I have been receiving lots of great transformation photos as I've been putting together our Coach Spotlight images. If you haven't sent me your Coach Spotlight, or you have never heard about what that is, what we've been doing is creating these images that what we're calling, you guessed it, Coach Spotlights, where I can show you examples. We have examples in our team pages, but they're basically just they're images that have like a headline that kind of summarizes your story, your transformation, your journey with Beachbody. And then also in the caption of the image also has a brief like couple paragraphs about what that coach's transformation story has been, so that we can then share them in Coach Sneak Peeks. You can share them on your social media pages. You can use them on Transformation Tuesdays. Just really creating this kind of content library. And but one thing that I've noticed, and then also just as we've, as a team, have gotten a lot better about sharing our transformation photos as we're getting to the end of Lift 4. A lot of people have these transformation photos right now. One thing that I really want to point out to you and encourage you to do is to make sure that you look so happy and excited in your progress photo. Even if you feel like, oh, your results weren't as great as they could have been because maybe you jumped off track or you got derailed with your nutrition or skipped a couple workouts or whatever the case is, or even some of you do have amazing results and I've still seen your progress photos and you just aren't really smiling in the after photo. I just want to share with you to point that out, to put it on top of your mind, because I think when you're scrolling through Instagram and you're looking at these pictures of these women and you're looking at their transformation, there is something so captivating about and contagious about a woman who looks so happy, who looks so confident, who looks radiant. And one way you're going to be able to actually convey that is if you are really smiling. And then also, as you share your story, you don't have to make any qualifications, right? Like you don't have to say like, oh, I got derailed, or maybe you don't really notice my results, or maybe it's not that obvious to you. No, I encourage you to just own it. Talk about what this program or any program has done for you. Do it with such confidence, with such excitement, with such energy that that person wants to join you. And I think as part of your story, we're not one program and then done people. So even if your results, you're not at your now like goal, even if you aren't, you didn't get the most amazing results that you were hoping to get, or you did get derailed, so they're not as great as you were hoping. This is a journey. So continue to talk about where you're going next, and then that's how you can invite people to join you. But if it doesn't look fun, right, because it's hard work, but if you don't actually look proud, how are people, like, it's not going to be as inviting for people when they see it, you know, when they're like, oh, and we say, do you want to join us? Do you want your transformation? And I'm like, well, I don't really know. You don't really look that happy. Like, you know, like it doesn't really look like you're that excited about whatever this did for you. So that was just one thing that I wanted to share on this call, is that when you're taking those progress photos, number one, definitely take them. And number two, definitely make sure that you were just like smiling, that you're proud of yourself, because every progress, every day you show up is worth celebrating. And so as we encourage our challengers to do that, I just want to encourage you to do that as well.
I was just going to say, and make sure you tell them to do the same, because, you know, I mean, I know it's so hard, but getting those challengers to take those photos is probably one of the most important things you can do for your client, because the scale's not going to show the things they need. The inches might not either, but we all know that if you work out for 21 days every single day, you will look like a different person when you take those photos at the end of it. If I mean, you got to do at least some of it. You got to work out, maybe eat right. But encouraging them to be proud of what they've done and let that radiate, not for any other reason, but for themselves, is going to be life-giving to them too. So, yeah. Okay. Well, any questions, comments, concerns before we call it a day?
Let's take a picture before we jump off.
Oh, and I have the picture from last week too. Sorry.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
My bad. I think that's something, and there it was. Okay. Oh, I almost pressed end meeting.
That would have been so dramatic.
So dramatic. Okay. Here we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. I always forget to press stop recording first. I hope you smile.